Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is going to be a little bit of a change of pace for my channel, but not really much of one. Don't mind the swamp witch humidity curls I have going on. It's early August and summer is wonderful. So rather than me doing yarn talks specifically, since I am more branching out into other crafts as well, but will still be doing crochet tutorials, I'm going to call my little catch-up videos Craft Confessional. And I'm just going to put the date with it. Maybe I'll number the episodes. I'm not sure. I might just put them in chronological order with the date and put them in a playlist that way. So as I was saying before, both of my children decided that they suddenly needed my attention after not interacting with me for pretty much the last hour. I have a lot of things I am working on, and they are not all yarn related, so it only makes sense to combine everything into one episode instead of making separate episodes. So if that's not your thing and you're just here for the yarn, I will put a timestamp in when I start talking about that stuff. And if you just like listening to me talk and see my kids run around like psychos, then welcome. So I finally got my last order of fabric from everything I ordered that I showed in my last video. It is very small and it took a lot longer than I was expecting it to. When it had been like 10 days and it said it was still in pre-transit, I contacted the seller and she was like, oh my god, I've heard from like 20 other people today that nobody's gotten their stuff yet. She was like, and I took 80 orders to the post office that day and dropped them off. So I don't know if maybe since it was such a large drop off, they quarantined things for a week or something before they sent them. But after I talked to her, it arrived in like 2 days after that. So I don't know. It's not anything I would fault her for, especially considering the current state of everything that is super marvelous and wonderful right now in the United States, with pretty much everything being done by mail for safety reasons. So anyway, this order of fabric was from the shop Surf and Sunshine on Etsy, and I will link to that down in the description box below the video. You probably won't be able to see that. I am sitting in front of two windows because when the sun shines in Washington, you have to soak up as much of it as possible because it only shines for 3.5 to 4 months, and then the other 8 it just doesn't. So, blown out behind me, I look a lot whiter than I actually am. I'm actually super tan for me right now because of all the natural light, and I'm just soaking it in while I have the opportunity. But both of the boys are here. They are doing their thing, so hopefully the things that they're watching and playing are not loud enough that it interferes with the video and somebody tries to take it down on a copyright claim or some crap, because who needs that, seriously. So anyway, the fabrics that I got are small portions, and once I show them to you, I have a question related to things to make with this fabric. So this fabric in particular is a 1/4 yard, and as you can see, it is the balloon from Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss, which I thought was really awesome. So this is a 9" by 42" piece of fabric. That's a 1/4 yard. And if you see something like here, this is my knee. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. It is hot. I do not sit like a normal human because my mother is very short and she usually sat on her knees or sat like this, and I kind of picked that up from her. And I'm in the creakiest chair in the world right now, so hopefully it's not too loud. All the fun things. This fabric is another 9 by 42, and if you can see it, it says Quidditch Team Captain. There's no house affiliation or anything, it's just a almost metallic gold print on black This is donuts, which if you don't know are like my favorite thing, and I avoid them like the plague because they are my favorite thing and I have zero impulse control and will legit sit down and eat an entire dozen donuts by myself for breakfast if left to my own devices. This is another 9x42. And the last piece I got, this is absolutely gorgeous. It is a fat quarter that has dragonflies on it. So if you don't know, a fat quarter is 18x21 inches. And it does actually have golden metallic accents, if you can see that, with how blown out my camera is. I'm recording this on my laptop and with a different plug-in microphone, so the windows are open, the fan is going, the kids are here, this is life. I'm tired of waiting for the perfect, opportune moment to record and it never occurring, so I just don't make videos because it's never quiet or light enough. There's no win. There is no win in life, the universe, and everything right now, and that is how I feel. So, now that I'm covered in thread from the edges of the fabric, my question is, I know that just about everybody in the known universe who has a sewing machine or is capable of hand sewing is making their own masks right now if they cannot get their hands on the disposable ones. So, I still have not listed the masks that I have already made in my shop. I am planning to list them and hoping to sell them. However, I really, really don't like sewing them. And I don't want to chop up a bunch of perfectly good fabric to make masks when so many other people are already making them. So my question to you is this. Rather than making masks with these fabrics I've shown, if I were to make bags with a coordinating fabric of some sort, and yes, I have enough other stuff in my stash to find something that would go with these, would you all be more interested in fabrics like that as bags, or do you think I should continue to make masks? Because what I want to do is get all my masks listed and see how fast they sell and assess from there whether it's worth chopping up and making more. I feel like the market is kind of reaching mask saturation at this point. So maybe I'll get lucky and offload them for at least what the extra fabric cost me to make the ones I've already made. Knew I wasn't going to get rich making them anyway, so that's not really even my intention. But yeah, that's something I've been, every time I sit down to sew and I look at the stack of masks that I've cut that I need to finish, I'm like, just don't want to do it. So, let me know your thoughts on that. And remember that I am in the United States and though I do ship all over the world, shipping is insane and I don't think somebody wants to pay twice as much for shipping on a stack of masks as they're paying for the actual masks themselves. So let me know what you think about that. And other thing that I have right now isn't really much, but I have been working on a design for a shawl because it has been a while since I've actually published a design at all, and I'm a little more than halfway through this right now. And the way that I am doing the striping with the color on this is based on the fact that I'm only using yarn from Stash and I don't have enough of the polo stripe to make it all the same all the way across. So I'm going to put in a block of black, purple, another block of black, and then use the ball of polo stripe. So this is going to be a pocket shawl, which is all the rage right now. It's a wrap style shawl. And this is very simple. It would definitely be beginner friendly. I'm going to make up a PDF pattern for it and I'm going to have a free video tutorial. Like I said, it's going to be beginner friendly, and it's featuring Randy's all-time favorite stitch, which if you've seen my Hangetsu shawl, then you know it is the triangle stitch, because it's so easy and it makes such a nice fabric that is warm but also breathable, and it looks pretty, and it's a yarn eater, which is great if you're trying to burn through stash. So this chunk that is striped before you get to the black portion is Red Heart Super Saver Polo Stripe. This is Red Heart, I believe the type of yarn is Comfort, and it's black. I think the colorway might actually be called Licorice, but it's black acrylic yarn and it's worsted weight. Who cares? And this purple is, let me see if I've got the ball band for it. I know it's Red Heart with Love. Boysenberry. Red Heart with Love, Boysenberry. Because out of all the other yarn in my stash, that was really the only thing I had that was kind of a close-ish color palette to some of the colors in here. So once this is all done, I'm going to make the pockets, and they're going to be black, and they're going to go down on each end. I might look for a couple of people to also test the pattern just to make sure. It's honestly super simple. Once you get going, it's just a 2-row repeat like all triangle stitch, aside from the pockets. But I will probably put out a call for testers in my Facebook group. If you are interested in joining the Facebook group, it is Random Randy's Random Family, and the link for that, as always, is in the description box down under the video. I have completely disabled my Patreon at this point, so that is no longer available. It does still exist if I ever want to reactivate it, but it is currently disabled, so nobody can sign up, nobody's getting charged, none of that anymore. Because on top of attempting to produce regular content for the channel and everything else going on in my life, there's no way I could do extra special secret squirrel content just for Patreon, and I didn't feel that it was fair to people. I do appreciate the people who stuck with me all the way right up until the end, though. I love you guys. It pretty much completely covers my Adobe subscription every month, so yeah. So as of right now, aside from regular monetization of my channel and sales in my Etsy shop, things are things. I'm waiting to find out what exactly is going on with my school still. I am planning on homeschooling my boys, and now have the clearance to do so, whether it pleases their other parental unit or not. And that's going to be interesting when I get to start doing in-person classes again and having to go to the clinic, but I'll figure it out. I'll make it work like I always do. There are just so many things right now that are going on, in the works, up in the air. And it's yeah, fun. So, on top of that, my boyfriend is working insane amounts, like 7, 12-hour days in a row. Super fun. So what I'm thinking of doing to add a little bit more cash flow in, which unfortunately is still up in the air for me because I don't know how long it'll be until I can actually be certified and start making money doing massage, which makes life marvelous and wonderful, since I was supposed to be doing my last class next week and taking my state board before the end of the month so I could start working in September. Now, who knows how long that's going to take? Maybe Christmas time-ish, if we're lucky now. More likely for a lot of people, spring. We'll see. But to bring a little more cash flow to myself and the channel, I'm considering dedicating more time to making some digital designs that people can get on all sorts of stuff. If you've looked at my Etsy shop at all, I have weight crochet sleigh gear, which is, you can get it on pretty much anything. You can get a notebook, you can get coasters, you can get a shower curtain, you can get wearables and coffee cups and everything else. So if you're interested in supporting the channel at all, you order those things through there. A secondary third-party company prints them out and ships them to you. But I'm still aware of the shipping process, so if you have any issues, which I know a few people have had with things getting delayed because factory workers are greatly reduced thanks to COVID-19 at the moment, just let me know and I can get it worked out. Whether it means that you might eventually end up with 2 of something because it got stalled in transit and wasn't sent to you in a timely fashion, maybe you'll luck out and you'll get 2. Who knows? But there's that, and I am getting the urge to write more again. If you're new to the channel, I am a self-published author. I have ranked in the top 10 in a few categories for my paranormal romance fiction, and I really wish I could finish out the series, but I feel like I have sort of outgrown writing that way, because every time I sit down to do it, it isn't enjoyable to me, and I don't have time or space in my life for things that make me miserable. I don't. I am not going to subject myself to it. And I know that it bothers people because they really want to know the rest of the story. And I'm like, yeah, but writing it is painful to me, and I'm not under contract, so why bother? So what I'm doing instead is I am going to be genre jumping and probably be diving into extreme horror, which is going to be interesting. And what makes it extreme horror as opposed to regular horror? Well, that means there's going to be a lot more icky stuff in it. And no punches pulled when it comes to taboo topics. So I am getting a Facebook page set up for that, and some people who are friends with me on Facebook are already aware of it. I am using a gender-neutral pen name because in the extreme horror arena, female authors generally get overlooked because people think that we can't write the icky, scary, squishy, gross things. And it's like, I have had a natural childbirth twice. I know all about icky, squishy, gross things. Believe me, yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I have a few story ideas. I have a few friends I'm bouncing ideas off of. If anybody is interested in being in a beta reader group, which I haven't started yet because I don't have enough written yet to bother asking for other people's opinions, but I do have a Facebook page started for it, and it is MK Underland Author, and I'll put that up on the screen. Initially, I was just going to keep it super secret and not say anything about it, but if you don't say anything about it, then nobody's going to be able to find it and buy it, you know? So I have a few things in the works. I'm hoping to have 1 or 2 things put together to release probably around Christmas time, because realistically, with everything else going on, to have time to write, edit, format, and make a decent cover, all of those things, which I do completely by myself, it's gonna take time. So yeah. So if you're interested in that and you like spooky things, because it's not just going to be torture porn, for lack of a better word, like the Hostel movies and anything Eli Roth touches, there's going to be more to it. There will be more substance, and I think that the depth of plot that will also have the icky things is what's going to make my work stand out from most of the rest of the crowd right now. So again, if you're interested in that, I'll put the Facebook link down below. Right now I'm just posting memes related to things that are rolling around in my brain in regards to that stuff, because I don't have enough written yet to start posting teasers. But once I do, they will be there. And if you're interested in checking out my forever hanging in the air paranormal romances, those are always listed in the video description way down towards the bottom under, I think, a heading of my written works or something like that. So I have one more class and 2 final exams that I have to finish. And then we're going to be on break until the 1st, and allegedly we're going to be able to get back in the clinic soon. For those of you who don't already know, I'm going to school to become a licensed massage therapist, certified massage therapist, whatever you want to call it. It differs from state to state. And I was supposed to be graduating in like a week. And everything got stalled by COVID well, we didn't have any classes at all for 3 months, and we've just been doing remote learning for the past 3 months, and that's been a blast, as it is for everybody who's had to adjust to this change. But massage therapy is kind of something that you kind of need to get your hands on people to really do it well and learn about it in more than just the abstract. You kind of have to put the motions and the tactile sensations in with, oh, this is what it feels like when there's something wrong with this muscle, which is caused by this thing over here that's tight. You know, it's not just completely up here. You have to actually be able to touch it to know what to look for in other people. And hopefully we'll be able to get back to that soonly. God, it would be so nice to just get it done with. Because I know I'm not going to have any problem passing the MBLEX. I've been doing well in all of my classes so far. I think the worst thing that's occurred is I actually completely missed one quiz in one of my classes because several were released at the same time. And I made sure I got all the other ones done for all of my classes, but totally spaced on one of them. So, oh well. With everything else going on in my life, if that's the only assignment I missed, I'm in pretty good shape. So I think I have rambled enough, and hopefully at least some of you are still watching. So I will try to summarize everything I asked about as succinctly as possible now. Do you think that I should keep making masks, or should I just sell the ones I have and pitch making them from the other fabrics because I hate sewing masks? Or should I make bags and fun stuff that I like with them, with the good fabrics? If you are interested in testing my pattern, make sure you join the Facebook group. I'm going to be putting out a call for probably 5 people to do so. Like I said, it's a really simple pattern. If you are interested in the things that I write, check out the Facebook page that I mentioned, and if you want to check out the other things that I wrote previously that I'm just really not that into anymore, there's links down below. And I think that I may also start up a Ko-fi, which is rather than a subscription payment to creators like with Patreon, it's a one-time thing. It's like $5. So if you can't spend $20 on a bag, but you'd like to toss me a couple of dollars because you like my content and the stuff that I do, then you can buy me a coffee. All that stuff will be down in the box below. Don't mind my half-naked youngest just chilling, walking around the house. Like I said, it's summer, it's hot, it's fine. And aside from that, I hope that you are all doing well, staying sane, and I will catch you guys all in the next craft confessional. Bye, guys.